All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for ReZero Season 2, Episode 19.
Well,
Pandora.
Yeah. And the seal.
Witch of Vanity.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And which witch will the seal confer whatever it's... Well, we don't even know if it's going to confer power. But yeah, the seal's going to do something because it's totally going to be open, and that's probably what resulted in...
And Amelia is probably
frozen.
the key in that regard.
Okay,
probably. So, I really feel for Betelgeuse in this situation here.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, however you pronounce it. But, okay. So, we're basically building up to the beginning
of Frozen Bonds.
Frozen Bonds.
Yep.
They will have the event. Then everything just gets frozen over. And the fact that Amelia is getting all these memories back means this is going to change who she is in the present, just dramatically.
She'll face this, and
she'll be able to face this and take, well, not just take stuff from it, but she'll be able to make kind of decisions, like kind of based on how she interprets it. Because one of the things that you can't expect her to handle really well at all is, as a kid, how the hell does she, interpret or handle this? It's all just a big mess.
That's why she shuts it down. And blocks it off,
Right. So just learning about this is huge. Mm-hmm. But then what does she then do about it?
Yeah, what does present-day Amelia do? Because regardless, assuming that she succeeds in pushing through this, that will be whole new reservoirs of strength that she will then have to draw from that she did not before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. But Pandora, being the Witch of Vanity, this is something that was passed along to us a little bit, is that there was a bunch of deadly sins that were not necessarily kept
They were consolidated and simplified,
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't do too much looking into that in general, but Vanity was
one of them.
Mm-hmm. It is not anymore in the strictest kind of
in the traditional
sense. Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of a cool way of giving a twist.
Right.
Bet you forgot about this, or that you didn't know this, and the idea of it also being a witch that Echidna kind of has a little bit of like a revulsion, but
the fact that there are only 7 deadly sins in the traditional, I don't know what the right phrase for it would be, but given that not everyone knows that vanity was originally one of the deadly sins, not 7, but that might have story implications or parallels with how that's brought up in this, because maybe Pandora's that one that they like to forget about.
Right, because
she was cast out of the family.
Right, because there's Satala being the one that they're all like, Satala.
The complicated sister, yeah.
Right, with the cult and everything. But then you have Pandora, who very much seems to be this anomaly.
Yeah.
There's this almost this, I don't even know how to describe it, almost this nothingness, this the fact of how she's portrayed and presented as well, with the pure white and just dead eyes and just
it's potentially reality manipulating powers.
Yeah. Something that is rewriting causality or time or whatever. It's a power that is potentially terrifying.
Oh yeah.
So that in of itself is crazy, but we don't know exactly what will be the direct impetus as to why the Great Freezening happens, because we assume it's going to come from Amelia.
And probably the seal.
We
don't know.
But, what's the aftermath of that?
Right.
Because,
what happens when Amelia beats this trial? What's the next one?
Right, yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
実は私たちの目的はこの封印にあるんです。ですから私がここにいるのは必然なのです。
Oh, pee time!
Okay.
Let's go!
この封印、扉の形をしているだけあって鍵がなくては開かないのです。
Yes, that is how
そして
keys
その
work.
鍵はあなたがお持ちのはずですよ。そんなの知らない。
Oh, so it's not her. It is an actual possession.
Trying to piece together what the situation is.
Right, right. Like she's the one that they're protecting. So
She's just saying that, but she doesn't even know how.
Oh!
Oh.
No way.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Oh, so she really could make us stand here and be like, no, screw you, I won't open it.
Well, or once she opens it.
Yeah! Yeah, Amelia! Oh!
And I'm not gonna break my promise.
Right! Even if they break their promises, I won't break mine. Oh! Well, we've seen that kind of shit doesn't work. Yep. Wow. Oh my god. This would really traumatize Amelia. Holy shit.
Yeah, hopefully she's just closing her eyes.
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no!
Ah!
Oh
Ah!
wow, that's messed up.
Wow, now she puts the leverage on her. Yep,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she'll have to convince her to. Oh! Oh! It's so like, I am inevitable. Like,
It's like nails on chalkboard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. 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 Oh. Ugh. Get out of frame.
Just disappear.
Oh! Oh! Yeah!
Yeah!
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow, that is so fuck.
No wonder he snaps.
Oh. Yeah, I would do it. I would do it. Oh, and here he is! This is unveiling! Oh.
She's gone.
Yep. She no longer has you in her eyes, yeah. Yeah.
No way.
すごく愛して約束を交わしたお母様は残念ながらお亡くなりになりました。
Sadly, yeah.
これでもうあなたを縛り付ける約束という枷はあり
It's not how promises work, bitch.
死んじゃえ。
Oh! Oh!
どんなことをされますね。死んじゃえ。急に
Oh my god!
こんなことはお母様が悲しい。困りましたね。どうやら逆効果。死んじゃえ。死んじゃえ。死んじゃえ。死んじゃえ。
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
この様子だとあなたはおそらく長い眠りにつくことになるでしょう。
Oh.
あなたの力でこの森は溶けることのない凍土に覆われる。
Oh my god.
Wow.
あなたの今日までの思い出は私の存在を忘れて完結すること。空白はご自由に保管してください。
Whoa.
いずれ来る再会の日を楽しみにしています。
Oh, she
So
whispered
she
something
saves
to him.
Goose. Yeah.
Oh crap. And he leaves. Oh my god. Oh, my back is like in pain right now.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Echidna. Yes.
虚飾の魔女だ。いびつな記憶の保管は虚飾の権能で間違いない。
Gotcha.
あと
Wow.
は答えを出さなくてはね。
Yeah. So what is your answer? Yeah.
答え。第一の試練は己の最大の後悔に決別することで達成。
Oh,
I love it.
It has nothing to do with the past, but like
Right, like not
specifically,
inherently,
but
yeah.
regrets all come from the past. So
Right.
right. Cool.
母様は私を愛してくれていたわ。私は母様を、フォルトナ母様を助けてあげたかった。また抱きしめてもらって一緒のベッドで眠りたかった。約束を守ってあの場所を譲らなかったこと後悔しない。私が後悔するとしたらあの時に力が足りなかったこ
Wow.
と、賢く頑張れなかったこと。
その
This is
母
just
親は救
confounding
え
a
ない。
kid now.
君は戦う意味をなくしたんじゃないのかい？
そんなことはないわ。母様は救えなかった。でも村のみんなはまだわからない。
森は黒蛇に汚染されている。仮に凍土が溶けたとしても肉体を病魔に蝕まれていたら。
早く起こしてあげて。私はみんなに怒られるの。それから生きててくれてよかったって笑うのよ。
馬鹿げた妄想だよ。
いいえ、幸せな未来予想よ。母様は言っていたわ。いつかみんな森を出て普通に暮らせる時が来る。声
Ah.
を枯らして夢を歌って空の上にいる母様に聞こえるように言うの。母様
Oh.
の愛した世界で私は幸せでいるよって。
押し付けがましく傲慢で独りよがりで身勝手で
Like
偽
you?
善の押し売りだ。
そうね。ダメ？
母の犠牲を覚悟の言い訳にしてせいぜい身勝手な願いを貫き通すと
Oh.
好きに言ってくれていいわ。
Oh.
駅殿の悪口。
いい。残る試練はあまり君には答えないだろうね。
Wow.
開き直った君とはすこぶる相性が悪い。
Hmm.
We'll see.
ありがとう。
Oh. Oh, but that was a lot, Amelia.
Yep. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
母様。母様。気遣いのできない男たちのそばにリューズ様を残していくのも気が咎めますし。
そうそう。
Yeah.
その男たちのために。お前に行かれちゃ困るのと、不確定要素のラムを外しておきたかったんだよ。
ラムを？おいおい。
これからメイザース辺境博のところにお邪魔しますから。
Oh.
どういったご用件で来たのかな？
もう分かってるはずだ。お前の作った盤面が崩れ始めてるってな。
君の同行者を見れば状況の変化はわかる。な
Quite a
んと
bit.
もまあ丁寧に飼いならされたものじゃないか、ガーフィール。入ってきた時から思っていたけ
He's
ど。
an unknown variable.
一体どこの
Yeah.
Who is this random merchant
す
boy?
げえな、おっと。お前未来を見透かす予言書からもはぶられてる。全然嬉しくありませんし、全く話が通ってないことに驚きが隠せませんけど。お前がこれまで慎重に作り上げてきた盤面に未知の駒が乱入したんだ。それで流れが変わった。
Cool.
書にも載らない取るに足らない俺の友達の
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
改めて名前を聞いておこうか。
Otaku.
次の木には絶対に君を見落とすまいよ。
All right.
おっと狙い通りこれ以上ないくらいズワールの印象に残ったぜ。
僕が望んでたのってこういう思い
Yeah, yeah. An epic level wizard is now going to
Yeah, yeah.
remember you.
Right.
普通ここはメインヒロインが俺を立ち直らせる場面で男キャラが出張るのって空気読めてなくね。
そんな日
Subaru.
You didn't. You doubted Otto's potential for being best girl.
Yeah. Huh. The audacity.
ここに何をしに来た？
幸福韓国だ。
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
シーマさんからこの聖域が作られた本当の理由を。
Which was?
Which was the thing we got gap skipped over when Emilia did her trial. And it's the, Sonotori. And now, you know, we as the audience have to
Yeah.
just, what did they talk about? Wow. Here we go. End of
Okay.
the trial.
Yep. End of the trial.
Emilia's completed it, and she passed it with,
Flying
in some ways,
colors.
flying colors to the point where Echidna got pissed about Emilia's response to all of this.
Right.
Because Emilia's, well, insufferable, if you will, determination to head towards the best possible ending, if you will, is something that, that's, doesn't that sound a little bit like what you kind of are, Echidna, as well? Just
And
as someone who
might sound-
greedily wants it all, you know?
And it might sound a little bit crazy. You
sure.
know? And that's
Sure.
and that's probably why but love is crazy. That's the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she remembers the love that her mother had for her
Yep.
and that she had for her mother.
Yep.
She knows about the love that Subaru has for her, that she is still loved. The love is not lost, right? And so, yeah. Of course
So
she
she's
can
gonna go.
this.
She's gonna go all the way, the distance, the
And-
whole
and
enchilada.
It absolutely confounds Echidna, and I love it. It's
because,
great.
Because from her perspective, that's something that she could probably only really hope to attain via a power like Subaru's. You know,
Sure.
It's something where it's just like, oh my god, that would.
Yeah.
But but Emilia doesn't have that.
Nope.
She doesn't even really have knowledge of that.
Right. If
Like-
anything, she's had a similar experience in that she's had to relive the past over and over again to get
Sure.
to the point where she can finally face it and succeed.
Right.
But no, that's and yeah, the fact that that Pandora ended up wiping her mind, that did help in a way.
It kind of did in a way where you could definitely see that her motivation is that she's trying to clean the slate with regards to how Emilia views Pandora. Thus, when she comes back to try and manipulate her again, she doesn't have to deal with the fact that there's all this negative history.
Right.
But in some ways now, Pandora's beaten.
yeah.
One of the things that was really interesting about Pandora's like power, the more and more she used it, the more and more it was seeming to be limited by a form of illusion, more so than like true like time reality kind of, you know.
Oh, an
magic.
illusion would be very fitting for the Witch of Vanity.
Yes,
'Cause
exactly.
it's all appearances and stuff.
Right. That's the way that you missaw. You didn't see what you
Right,
saw
right.
correctly.
Uh-huh.
So her appearance of being this perfectly pretty little child, that could all be a lie. But then the idea of misdirecting people onto
Yeah.
each other, that was the most. That was the perfect way to showcase in the story how our boy Betelgeuse basically broke, because he was breaking before this.
And even before all of this crazy stuff started happening, we could see the signs where his obsession was a bit too strong, right? He didn't
Sure.
he didn't have a good handle on it necessarily.
Yeah,
but
but then he took the witch factor,
yeah.
and
Well-
tried to bond
well,
it to himself,
and
which
even that, you
already
could-
physically kind of broke him a bit.
Well, right, but even that you could say it's there are people that I care about and need to protect them, right?
So
anybody
I'll
could do
sacrifice
that, right?
myself in any way I can.
Right,
yeah.
but before he had this obsession, but it was something that because of the environment that it wasn't pushed to that really dangerous place.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
But then all of a sudden it was. Oh, and then on
it's
top
the
of
worst
that,
possible timeline.
and then
in
on
that
top
regard,
of that, yeah, I'm gonna make it so that you kill the woman you love right in front of your surrogate daughter.
yeah. God, I I loved this episode so much for how much it angered me. Like how much I was
Every
so
time
much in pain every time this horrific nightmare just continued to unveil. And then when we realized, oh shit, this is Amelia's power, all Amelia's power that's going to freeze everything.
No, the seal didn't even end up getting broken.
Nope. This is all something that,
Which means that probably was Pandora's box equivalent, you know.
Well, it might be something even worse.
It could be something worse, you know, but it's like
far worse,
But okay, all right,
right.
So this was Amelia all along, and that was the kind of stuff that she could do.
Because that's something that we kind of expected, but we maybe thought that there was something more attached to it that we were going to get context for via this whole backstory here.
Before we got the details here, we always just figured, Emilia is, you know, the daughter of Satala, basically. So, or at least the next,
or like the next one in line to inherit Satala. Which now let's actually just go on a limb here and say she might just actually be
she's actually just
literally
Satala's
daughter. Yeah,
I think so. And so naturally,
hence why she actually just looks like her.
That too, and her magic just snap freezes everything, right?
And the whole missing mother and father thing,
right?
Because remember when Fortuna was talking in her final moments about the promise that she didn't make or she failed on.
Right, she couldn't.
It was her talking about the husband of
Satala.
Basically, it seemed like she was talking about Satala's husband. Then, if Satala is the mother, the blood mother of Amelia.
Right.
Because she was Aunt Fortuna. She was, I believe. I think she was Satala's sister.
She was Satala's sister.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, right. Because she said
because she's an elf.
Right. Well, and she was saying my sister's good looks, you know, or
right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Okay. So that's kind of a big context thing, is that it's not necessarily something where it's now again that could be. You know, that could be, again, you're the witch's daughter. It could be, you know, not literal.
But it's probably literal.
But that's an explanation as to why she's so powerful.
Well, and also why, not just Amelia, but also Aunt Fortuna. Because, like, that... I wouldn't think that you would just get to be that powerful just by happenstance, right? There would have to be a story there of some kind, right? And, and it could be, you know, training or whatever, or things like that.
Yeah, there's a possibility also that we're just dealing with, you know, beings that are old and they've just been around a while. So everyone at a certain point, if you're a magic user, gets
through
pretty
some
dang strong.
Crazy journey to get
because that's kind of where
unfathomable power.
Right, unfathom means without fathom. It's kind of where we are with. Roswal and
Beatrice.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, that they're both really ancient old beings, probably because, with Roswal's case, a little bit because of his magic, probably more so than with Beatrice, who is more of a spirit, not an actual like corporeal. Oh well. Anyway, details.
Yeah.
We end up though having everything frozen. Amelia has to come to terms with this. And she just basically chooses I'll save everyone, which I don't think is necessarily possible.
Well, right. And that's what was frustrating Echidna so much.
Yeah.
And because Mother Fortuna is dead.
Oh, yeah,
right?
she's not being saved.
She's not being saved.
Nope.
Betelgeuse is not being saved.
Nope.
Right? He's dead.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's in the ground.
In multiple different ways, right? But... that doesn't mean she won't be able to try and save the people that are still there.
Yeah, she can carry that promise beyond death into the world outside and show all of them that.
Yep.
Because that's what her mother would have wanted.
And even if they've been corrupted by the evil black ooze and stuff and all the other things, right?
Yep.
Even if she doesn't save anybody,
yeah,
she's still going to carry on with I'll save them all.
Because I've got others too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and that's
I haven't lost them.
I really liked how they took Emilia's backstory and her struggle and everything, which is very much separate from Subaru, but then still tied in how and why Subaru was important.
Yeah, at the very end there. That was really cool.
Because in a technical sense, Subaru doesn't matter with regards to what Emilia is going through here, right?
Story.
with regards to this.
But
both
he
with
has
regards-
been her story up until
exactly
like
for the news
for
story
a-
that she's
a
making.
long while now.
He is an integral part of it.
Yeah.
So there you go, right? What more needs to be said?
Yeah.
You know, yes, I'm going to use stupid not logic, you know, and I know that frustrates you, Echidna, but
Yeah.
my choice.
But I'm not trying to convince you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to
I don't
convince
care what
me
you
anymore
say.
either.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I've loved the bits where Emilia was snapping back at Echidna at such a fast pace that it just does
and it was so casual too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it wasn't
like I'm used to your insults.
right. There was
Ah,
no
okay.
there was no element that felt like she was trying too hard.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
It wasn't
Yeah.
forced. It was just no.
Yeah.
Water off a duck. No.
Oh, so now we're outside and we're setting up something here. So, Ryutsu and I believe what was the other one's name?
I can't remember.
I've got the details here. Don't worry.
Ryuzu's the last name.
Bilma and Shima. Right. But the Shima was the one who violated the contract, right? And she, by basically just exposition, told Subaru and company why the sanctuary was created.
Right.
So that
But
was
we, the
told.
audience, don't
We, the
know.
audience, don't know that yet, but it's going to get discussed with Roswell and them after
Indeed.
this. So
We'll have to see next episode for that.
what
but
what Subaru is doing here is he's basically saying, I've broken your immutable rules prophecy thing. Therefore, you have no choice not only to surrender, because nothing anymore is going to be along the lines of,
right.
the book.
You got nothing. Yeah.
You also should just join me. Like, in a lot of ways, I'm really excited about this being a thing where Subaru is armed with such knowledge that the excitement, the curiosity, if you will, of the wizard kind of takes a hold here, and he's just like,
It gets
all
peaked,
right,
yeah.
well then let's go. What's next, Subaru? You've got something else to surprise me with? He's like, no, not much. You could probably guess how I'm going to play things out from here.
Right. You know me pretty well. I
Yeah.
mean,
These other, like Garfield, he's a pretty simple boy. You can
Right.
probably guess what we're going to use
the
him
only
for.
reason you were surprised this time around is because you didn't expect Otto.
Right. Otto being the variable that he didn't expect is such hilarious genius
it's
because it's
great.
basically saying that Subaru, in his bungling through season 1, ended up making a friend.
Yep.
And he didn't value this friend in the same way that Roswell didn't really value him in his equations of things.
Right.
Because it was he isn't
You
in
don't
the
matter.
book, but he is here, so he probably does nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But Subaru can change up what actually happens. And if he wants to, he can decide, no, we're sticking with this route. I'm going to go this direction.
Sure.
There will be consequences, but I'm also going to do the thing that Emilia kind of did here is I'll just do it all. I'll just do it all with them. Like,
Yep.
I'll get everyone on my side.
This is, I feel like,
It's so exciting.
it's a wonderful way to work in the whole power of friendship thing, right? Because the power of one friend, the power of one person. It's the line from Gandalf in the Hobbit movies of Saruman only thinks that great power
Yes.
can keep evil at bay. That's not what I've found.
That little acts of kindness and love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are what do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what Otto brought to the table here, right? And that's something that
Otto and Patrash too.
that's right.
We don't forget
We can't
Patrash,
forget
yes.
Patrash.
Oh.
But it completely confounded Roswell, just in the same way that Emilia's
Childlike,
childlike
insistence.
insistence or insane positivity
Yeah.
confounded her, right? But hey, that's the decision that she's choosing to make. So there you go, right? And now Roswell is looking at Otto with a, all right, I'll remember you next time.
Putting you into my long-term memory, and it's done. You know?
Right, exactly. Like,
And Otto's just like, I didn't want this to be the way it
if
would
I
actually
ever
happen.
decide to turn on all of you, I will make sure that you are also killed.
Right,
Right.
right.
Like specifically you, And that's great.
I just love this though because Roswell has always had this air of everything is going okay now. So I get to play in the midst of that. But here, probably for the first time in a long time, he's now like, I have actually zero idea of where this goes now.
And for someone as smart as Roswell,
right.
For someone as old as Roswell, and for
as
someone as powerful as Roswell, that is a golden opportunity. Like in Echidna's case, it's the equivalent of like, oh, I don't know something,
and she just
wait, what?
hold on.
Oh, don't whisper such
take
sweet
some of
nothings in my ear.
My
like,
nervous sweat here. And put that in the cubby.
Right.
Hey, you know?
Yeah. Want some sip? You know, like
Sippy sip, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's new to him. You know, he doesn't get that very often. Yeah.
And while I mean we're still a little bit in the dark on a couple things, just in general here, we could be getting that point where in an episode maybe, because these episodes are so big, we're leaving the sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, given
go.
that Emilia just like woke up right there, I believe it doesn't have to be this, but I believe that means that she basically just breezed through the other two and they weren't on screen. Like,
yeah, that's something that we'll have to wait and see.
You'll
on,
have to see the
it's a
next
little bit-
episode.
it's not as clear. On
even
that.
if they did take it the other way though, where we actually see them going through it, because Echidna said, yeah, the other two aren't going to be much of a problem for you.
Right.
It probably won't take long, right? And yeah, which makes me very curious because I want to see what happens after they get out of the sanctuary. Because there's getting out of the sanctuary and resolving stuff at the mansion, but what then? Like, we've been dealing with that whole set of like this set of obstacles since the beginning of the season. So like, once that's done, what do we do?
Well, that's, I think, the whole point is that this season will kind of end with this being resolved, and it's the decision as to what's next. Because in certain contexts, it's could go back to business as usual, except for the increased activity of the witches cult, which means that they have goals that are potentially being set into motion.
That's
independent of what's going on here.
Yes, and Subaru has new friends and allies and new information, so he'll be able to formulate a plan probably of what he's actually going to do, especially now that once this is over, Roswell will be fully on his side.
That's actually the really interesting question, is that once this is resolved, do things course correct? Will Subaru get a new save point, basically, where it's you've locked all that in, that's great.
I think so, yeah.
But just because that happens, what then happens with Rem or characters who are not necessarily completely on his side, like Roswell, where it's because things were able to be changed this way, do you change sides? Do you more state your intentions and how you will help in some way? Or do things get even more complicated?
I think things are definitely going to get more complicated because we at the very least will have way more pieces in play, regardless of how things go.
Right.
But I think with regards to Roswell specifically, I think he actually will join up with Subaru and really, really like be on his side after this. Because if Subaru shows him something new, right? A man as smart as Roswell is, you don't get that smart by thinking you know everything.
Well, he does. He has up until now.
He has up until now, right? But that's as a result of knowing that would be as a result of knowing when to listen, right?
Right, but
and when to learn, when to absorb.
Yeah. But I would say that there's a possibility that having that much knowledge, and this is why I feel like I'm still a little bit... I need this next episode to kind of clear things up with him, is that I feel like if you relied so entirely on something like that, or you had something like that just in your possession, you would end up relying on it. He might be in like panic mode for all we know.
Sure.
And where it's like,
wait, why the hell wasn't this auto person in the book?
How is this ever wrong?
It's
basically there's great powers in this universe, and this is why I kind of like the powers in ReZero, is that so many powerful things bump up against each other and create chain reactions of chaos.
Right. Lots of emergent behavior.
Right, lots of emergent behavior that feels, at the very least, exciting, even if I don't fully understand it all the time. But if Roswaal has been kind of the power sitting on the sideline,
What happens when he actually comes into the game?
what happens when he decides to either play the game, or in some ways, kind of like Betelgeuse in a way, having just a situation where the powers that be on the side, just in play, he just is swept up. There's nothing really
Yeah.
that he can do because he's kind of beaten then by Subaru here.
Yeah, he's been beaten by Subaru here, and as powerful as Roswaal is, there are places in this world and people in this world where he will be out of depth going in opposition to them.
Yeah, so will he get swept up in them in a positive way or a negative way, or will he resist in some way?
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Lots of standout little moments this episode, but the Betelgeuse just
the goose stuff
breaking bit that
killed me.
That was ugh.
And the fact that Amelia didn't break the promise, I love that. I love that
same.
so much because
Same.
it's like what the fuck did you think was going to happen, Pandora?
Yeah.
Like how arrogant are you that you think that your will is the only one that matters, to the point that if you orchestrate the death of someone's equivalent mother right in front of them by their equivalent father, that they'll then do what you want? Like at that point actually, quite frankly, you
messed
definitely lost. You messed up.
Yeah, I think that's
If
actually...
you have two hostages, that means you can kill one, but...
Right. I think that's actually showcasing that she was actually a bit panicked. Because she has to have some kind of limit to her powers.
Right.
Because she's not God rewriting time, because the thing I was...
The blood was still there.
The blood was still there. So the event is happening.
Right.
But there's a part of it that is like adjusted. And she seems to be like a mirror that's like broken. So she basically like refracts the mirror in some way.
What if it was that she doesn't actually... So if she's the Witch of Vanity, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I would associate with vanity is that it's not real.
Okay. Yeah, like seeing through...
Smoke and mirrors.
Mirrors. Yeah,
right.
yeah. I like the mirror thing because it's also I look at myself, and there's the narcissism.
Right, exactly. And then that's
vanity.
where the illusion side of things can come from, right?
Right.
So what if it was just that it's like, wait, a body? What's that?
Right.
You think there's any substance to me at all?
Sure.
I am all appearance.
Yeah, I am a whisper on the wind, basically.
Right, yeah.
You can't kill the wind.
Right.
know?
And maybe there's a way that you can, but it's not just by throwing ice spikes at it,
Right. This form I take here is so I can interact with all of you.
Right. It's exactly. It's
an interpretive mechanism.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is completely cut off from my actual existence.
Yeah. I do have to assume on some level, though, that until we get like hard evidence of this, is that the witches are actual like beings, though.
They're still people, yeah.
Yeah, and the power is more of like a thing that's attached to them as a being,
right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I feel like we've seen things that are different enough that she's done that it actually narrows down a lot what her power could
what
be.
It actually is,
because
yeah.
she's put
she's not Zawaro though.
Right, exactly. Because she put what's his face in the ground.
Right.
And then she said, you're actually gonna be like at your manor or whatever reading or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's gone. And she has also made it so that she doesn't die when she gets killed, but then also she does illusions. So I feel like that's a lot to kind of triangulate what
you
exactly
can tell
her
what's
power is.
in the middle of those boundaries.
Right. We can tell what her power's not. So yeah.
Yeah. But again, also because she has a somewhat maybe rewrite / illusions kind of related thing, it also means that...
Yeah, she is a witch. Her power doesn't have to take one form.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, okay. Whew. The balance of conflict with the antagonist has been upset dramatically.
Yep.
Echidna now feels super normal amidst all this chaotic madness
She really
and stuff.
does.
I loved the dramatic conclusion to building up to the movie, which I'm really glad we actually saw.
Yeah.
Because that makes... Like, it kills a little bit of the
wondering what's going to happen
wondering
here.
what's going to happen here, but it still gives us so much more emotional context for the scene.
Yep.
So I'm really glad that we watched that. But otherwise, hey, Subaru and Otto, they're in sync, y'all. They're like, okay. They're like, it's going the way you want. He's like, not like this exactly, but And then Garf is just like, why am I the odd man out? Why do I not know what's going on? It's like, it's okay, Garf. Not all of us understand
catch up
what's
to
going
speed
on.
eventually.
Yeah. But the idea that he's like, Amelia's finished the trial, so we're gonna quickly go get Roswell, and then we're gonna come back here.
That way we're waiting for her to celebrate
we'll
with her
cheer
when she
with her.
comes out with that big smile.
I just love the idea because the OP showed us this, and it was really, really, it looked really sweet. Was Subaru kneeling in front of Amelia outside the trial area, and there was a crowd of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I really feel like we're really close to not just going out of the sanctuary, but we're really close to a big step in their relationship because they've both now gone through their own biggest regrets.
Yep.
So they're no longer tied to the past. So they get
Now they can be in the present.
right together and maybe have a bit of a soft reboot on what their relationship actually is. Because while they did kiss, they need to maybe have a little bit of a rediscussion on this, given that now Amelia understands her obsession with promises a lot more.
DTR.
DTR, yes. No, it's not sounding like what you... No, yeah. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and then also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.